If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end.
Hello and welcome back in to self-care journaling. I am finding that this has been very good for me. Very good for me. I'd be interested to see what you're thinking of the series so far. If you would comment below, that would be very helpful. So we are to this layout, little Junie bee print. If you're not familiar with my little granddaughter, I will put a little image up above. And yeah, so let's pull a prompt. All right. And if you haven't been here yet and you want to know more about this series, check out the description box below. There is a link to these free printables, which are these journaling prompt cards. Okay, let's see here. Get them all mixed up. Ooh. Where is your heart pulling you? Yeah, that's challenging. Ooh. Okay, where is your heart pulling you? I think I'm gonna just use this LePen. I'll see how much juice it has. And I pulled out a library card that has no writing on it and is this odd orange color, and I thought I would use this to journal on. So where's your heart pulling you?
True things every day. By the time you get older, maybe it could be enough. You don't have to be so tough. Maybe you could settle down, happy with.
Okay. Well, that was good. I need to find a pocket for this. I have library pockets, so I need to find a pocket for this. I am thinking this might be a good color range to go. We have this yellow and this dark orange here, and this light sherbety kind of orange. Maybe that would go well. We do have some yellows in here, kind of with this. Little pale yellows in here. I am thinking about throwing lots at this and maybe doing some type of reduction, elimination. So kind of like getting rid of the clutter and focusing. So creating the clutter first and then minimizing the clutter is kind of where I'm being drawn to. So I'm going to start off with making marks. Lots of marks, and I'm going to do that. Let's see, I do have a fluorescent orange. That's awfully bright. I don't think it matters. I think I'm actually just going to go in maybe with some blue. I really love how blue looks with orange. Blue's not one of my favorite colors. This is an oil stick. I love the resist that these create. So that might be fun too for little surprises here and there. So I'm gonna just make some marks with this. This needs a little time to cure. You can heat set it. This is a new color for me. I haven't used it yet. I love these things. They are so much fun, but it seems to go well with the journaling that I did for this prompt. So I think this is a good place to start.
Close your eyes and let us fade away. Build a secret place for you and me. Let our minds be caught up in a dream.
I'm going to come in with a Stabilo all in blue and continue to make marks on this page.
Into each other's eyes. There's no one left but you and me. It's like a made-up place that only we can see.
Honey, put your phone down. I know you've been.
Rather than leave it unactivated, I'm coming in with the round brush and some water just to activate that blue color, get it to move a little bit. I'm not being real precise about it. I'm allowing it some areas not to be activated.
One day you'll cross paths, and you both got new perfumes. And the life you used to live is left within that old apartment. Maybe nothing's said and done, and your chest is set on fire. But I promise you, there's nothing but a cold-hearted liar.
All right, that I got dried, and now I'm thinking I'm gonna go in with a stencil. This is Circle Nested by Julie Fanfay-Belzer. I have these in my shop. Link to it will be down below, along with all the products I use per usual. And I've been really starting to like play with this, where you get paint on your finger and you rub it into a stencil, and you get a real light version in the center and then build up on the edges. And I don't, of course, worry about anything that goes under or whatever. I just don't worry about it. I just really like it. So I pulled out some colors from the PaperArtsy Fresco Finish acrylic paints in Butternut, Banana, Summer Sky, and Smoked Paprika.
Maybe one day you'll cross paths, and you both got new perfumes. And the life you used to live is left within that old apartment. Maybe nothing's.
So I'm going to come in again with this stencil and use some of my homemade glass bead gel. I will link how to make this up here in the upper right hand corner, as well as down in the description. But this is one of my very favorite texture mediums, and it's expensive to buy it. So I make it, and I just made some new stuff. So that's exciting too. So I'm going to come in again with this stencil, and this is going to be really hard to actually see. I mean, there'll be glimpses of the circular pattern, but because of the glass bead gel, they want to roll over and that kind of thing. But I find it really fun. I like to leave it a little thicker too, so I will probably do that as well.
Like you always do. Hold my hand and look me in the eyes so I can tell you how I feel. Tell you how I feel. Every day something new.
All right, so this isn't totally dry, but it's good enough for where I'm at now. So I'm coming in with a couple of hand-carved stamps. These were gifted to me by Crafty Hope. She made these. And this is a little screwdriver, Phillips head screwdriver, or standard head. So I'm going to come in with those, and this is the colors that I'm going to use. I'm going to do these. This Distress Archival ink in Wild Honey, and this one in Black Soot, and get these stamped around. So that's what I'm headed into doing.
How you move and what you do has made me so crazy about you now. Now we can go.
Usually when I'm stamping just for background images, I usually do what's called random stamping. So I stamp in clumps of 3 or 5, and then I usually go around the page and make a rule. So I'll follow the edge, or I'll follow a color, or I'll follow a texture. So I'm going to do that as I go through and stamp these images.
I need you right now, you right now. My world is spinning round, round, round. Oh, I want you now.
All right, it is getting more and more busy. As you know, that's my goal. I was thinking about coming in and doing some finger dots with, and maybe I'll come in with the smoked paprika and the summer sky. Let's see. That's a nice color.
If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end, close the chapter dignified. Dang girl, you did it again.
All right, I'm gonna come in with the orange Stabilo all and make additional marks. I'm just gonna activate this, but I'm gonna have a lot of liquid on my round brush as I go around and activate.
When will it ever be enough? Ever be enough? Ever be?
I'm coming into those areas that had the Glass Bead Gel with the Elegant Writer, which is a calligraphy pen, and it does really cool things when you spray water on it before it dries. And that is what I'm coming in and doing now.
Who hasn't heard of me now? Then will I have had enough of trying to keep myself real tough?
So isn't it interesting how different this reacted to the paper that was below this as opposed to the paper that was below that one? Kind of interesting. It just left that really dark mark. It kind of soaked in more on that one. Well, that feels completely over the top. Very busy, very scattered, very busy. So I think this is a good, I love how this Elegant Writer turned out in these areas. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to create a mask of some sort and cover areas that I want to keep. And then I'm going to come in with some spray paint and spray back the background. So I'm going to eliminate some of that chaos. Now I've done this a long time ago. In the next month's Throwback Thursday, you will get to see that where I did that in a different way with black paint. And so be on the lookout for May's Throwback Thursday, and you'll see another example of doing this. This time I'm going to use white, and I'm going to do it with spray paint this time. is my decision to do that. And that led me to, okay, what do I want to mask off this time? And I have decided I'm going to mask off using this shape, this unusual, not quite a circle shape. So what I'm going to do is I have some this is just scrap mixed media paper. So I'm going to just use my Stabilo All graphite pencil, and I think I'm going to just do 5 of these shapes, and I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to just trace and cut them out. All right, so I have my shapes all done, and all I'm going to be doing is placing them in the areas that I want them to be. I might have some going off the page, and then what I'm going to do is just eliminate the rest. So I am just going to lay these down. I'm going to protect the rest of my journal with some underpapers.
Quiet voices.
Now I'm going to use the Liquitex Professional Spray Paint in titanium white. And what I have found with this is that there is hardly any scent to this. So it is all right as long as you have, you know, some fairly good ventilation, and I do. And I can't, like I said, I can't smell it very well. Now, when I've done this in the past, it's really important to be right up top. So especially on the ones you don't have clipped, because just the pressure from this can will push these. So I want to make sure that I don't have that happening.
Let our minds be caught up in a dream.
All right, for the big reveal. I think it's really cool how this stuff, certain things bled through. So all the water soluble stuff, it will bleed through a bit, which I'm really surprised because this wasn't the water soluble, this was archival ink. So we got the archival ink in the yellow bled through, but the black soot didn't bleed through. And the Elegant Writer bled through, but the Stabilo Alls did not bleed through. So I thought that was a little interesting. So that is elimination. All right. From here, my thought was, now I found a library pocket that this can go into. But I think what I'm going to do is get the... really thoroughly cover this with gesso so we don't have any of the ivory showing through. Guess it actually looks okay with it showing through. And I think I'm going to add it as a flip. Okay, so I did that on both sides, just a light layer, just so it brings it to white. And I'm thinking... I had this while I was sitting here doing that. I had the idea of just putting it in the center and kind of do the reverse. Cover where what I can see, like this, on this side, and spray this, and I'm going to show you this, and spray this with this Montana Black graffiti spray paint in Juice, which is an orange and would work. And then do the opposite, turn it over and do the other side for the circles that get covered up with this. Now this I have to use outdoors. This has a very distinct spray paint smell. The other thing I failed to mention about this spray paint, if you get it really thick, it does have a tendency to be a little bit glossy. Or in this case, a lot glossy. I got kind of carried away. So that is the front. And I did find some fabric I thought would be fun to use to attach this. So I think I'm going to use this fabric here. Just a little splice of it. All right, so I got the other side done. Okay, so my thought was of putting this actually here and cutting off that little part. Doesn't really line up there. I don't know. We'll come back to that. I do know that I want to use my blue Stabilo All and just make some marks around these circles, and then I'm gonna come in and with my round brush, slightly wet, and activate that. Even pull some of it in. That orange is awfully bright on there, isn't it? I really feel like I need to bring in some of that juice color, but I just don't want to do it indoors. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some, see if I can get some mixed using that smoked paprika and the butternut, and come in with this bamboo stick and make some marks in that color so that we bring that same juice color from the spray paint in on the background. Okay, so I'm going to work on getting this attached where I want it to be. This is a thinner fabric. I'm a little worried about bleed through with this Fabri-Tac. I have had that happen in the past. I'm going to try and just go real light. I don't need a lot.
If only I could finish something, run straight through to the end, close a chapter dignified. Dang girl, you did it again. But will it ever be enough when I'm bent on trying to keep it tough? Will I ever settle down, happy with the here and now? ride through the clouds.
And I'm just gonna stick this in the pocket. I decided not to put it over here. Actually, I'm gonna come in with my Barely Arts and just get that little piece there glued. All right, so I think that to break this orange up here, I'm going to look for some words. I wasn't originally gonna even put any words on this, but I think I'm going to. And I also think I'm gonna edge these pages up, but with the dauber so that it's not as stark as it is here. So we need to look for some words. That was pretty easy.
I could find a way to put an angel on your shoulder, tell you true things every day. By the time you get older, maybe it could be enough. You don't have to be so tough. Maybe you could settle down, happy with the way it is now. When will it ever be enough? Ever be enough? Ever be enough?
This is a little heart that stamp that Hope made for me as well, and I was gonna use it but then decided not to. But now with this and the prompt, how they all kind of tie together, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that there and go around and distress these edges with just a bit of a softer edge, not so hard. And I considered going around these with this blue as well, but I just didn't feel like it needed it. I wanted it that soft transition. I felt like I was gonna get busy again. And really what I journaled about this time was taking out some of the chaos that I have in my life and coming back to what means the most for me, where my heart is led as I get older. And this is, you know, I find that slowing down is not, it feels like it's just coming naturally as I age to slow down. So, well, this has definitely been a very different approach for me. I didn't do any collaging this time, and that's usually where I always start. Not that you know, there's anything wrong with not collaging. It's just not my usual mode of getting to my goal. But I am learning really quite quickly that this journal is very different for me. It is more about my response to these prompts. And like in this, I just haven't really announced this, but my word of the year for 2025 is self-care. And so that is really what inspired this whole project this year. And I'm really happy with how this ended up turning out, and overcoming some of the, you know, color and different discrepancies. I wasn't planning on this. I love when things happen that you don't plan. So I love how this is this transition goes from this light blue to this darker blue, almost like a Payne's gray, and how these wild honey spots came through unexpectedly. And you can really see the transition here where it's real light and then it gets real stark. So I really like that. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please feel free, leave me comments down below about if this is something that you've been enjoying watching, if you're participating. Don't forget there are the free prompts. That download has 24 free prompts, so many more than what you need for a year, and they're fun to pull from. So Thank you for coming along.